Imagine living in a world where no one could carry time with them. Every journey, every meeting, and every decision depended on church bells, towering clocks, or the position of the sun. Then, one man dared to change that forever. His name was Peter Henlein, a little-known German inventor whose brilliant idea transformed the way humanity measured time. By creating one of the world's first portable watches, he made it possible for people to carry time in their own pockets, laying the foundation for every watch and smartwatch we use today. But who was this remarkable genius? How did a humble locksmith from Germany create an invention that revolutionized the world? And why has history almost forgotten the man who changed time forever? Stay with us as we uncover the extraordinary life, groundbreaking invention, and lasting legacy of Peter Henlein, the genius who changed time forever. In the late 15th century, Europe was a continent on the brink of transformation. Great kingdoms competed for power. Merchants crossed dangerous trade routes, and the Renaissance inspired new ideas in science, art, and technology. Yet, despite all this progress, one essential thing remained difficult to control: time. Most people relied on church bells, sundials, or large public clocks to know the hour. These clocks were enormous, heavy, and fixed to buildings. If you left the town square, you left accurate time behind. Travelers, merchants, soldiers, and nobles all dreamed of a way to carry time wherever they went. But no one had yet found the solution. Then, in the German city of Nuremberg, a gifted craftsman named Peter Henlein began working on an idea that would change history forever. Born around 1485, Peter Henlein grew up during an age of remarkable innovation. Nuremberg was one of Europe's leading centers of trade and craftsmanship. Skilled metal workers, blacksmiths, and inventors filled its busy streets, producing everything from weapons to scientific instruments. It was the perfect place for a curious young man to develop extraordinary mechanical skills. Henlein trained as a locksmith, a profession that demanded incredible precision. Creating locks required tiny gears, delicate springs, and careful engineering. Every piece had to fit perfectly. This experience gave him the knowledge needed to solve one of history's greatest engineering challenges: building a clock small enough to carry. At that time, clocks were powered by heavy hanging weights. While these worked well in towers and large buildings, they could never function inside a portable device. Henlein realized that if he could replace those heavy weights with a tightly wound metal spring, a clock could continue running even while being carried. This simple but revolutionary idea changed everything. Years of careful experimentation followed. Building such a mechanism was far from easy. Springs often broke, gears jammed, and early designs lost time quickly. Every failure forced Henlein to begin again, improving each tiny component with patience and determination. Finally, sometime around 1505 to 1510, his efforts paid off. He created one of the world's first spring-driven portable watches. Although these early watches were much larger than today's pocket watches and only displayed the hour, they represented an astonishing breakthrough. For the first time in history, people could carry time with them instead of searching for it in a town square or church tower. Henlein's invention became known as the Nuremberg Egg, a beautifully crafted portable watch admired by nobles, wealthy merchants, and scholars across Europe. More than a luxury item, it symbolized intelligence, innovation, and the beginning of a new era in timekeeping. As word of Peter Henlein's remarkable invention spread beyond Nuremberg, wealthy merchants, princes, and nobles became fascinated by the idea of carrying time with them. Owning one of his portable watches was more than a convenience. It was a symbol of prestige, intelligence, and wealth. Each watch was handcrafted, making every piece unique and incredibly valuable. Unlike modern watches that can keep time down to the second, Henlein's early creations displayed only the hour. They were not perfectly accurate and often gained or lost time throughout the day. Yet for the people of the early 1500s, this was nothing short of miraculous. Never before had such a small mechanical device been able to measure time without relying on heavy hanging weights. The secret behind Henlein's success was the mainspring, a tightly coiled strip of metal that stored energy. As the spring slowly unwound, it powered a series of tiny gears that moved the watch's single hand around the dial. This ingenious mechanism became the foundation of portable mechanical watches for centuries to come. Creating these watches required extraordinary patience. Every gear had to be shaped by hand, every spring carefully forged, and every tiny component assembled with incredible precision. One small mistake could stop the entire mechanism from working. It was a level of craftsmanship that very few people in Europe possessed. Peter Henlein spent much of his life perfecting his designs. His workshop became known for producing beautifully decorated timepieces made from brass, iron, and precious metals. Many featured intricate engravings, religious symbols, and artistic details that reflected the spirit of the Renaissance. These were not just scientific instruments, they were works of art. As portable watches became more popular, other craftsmen across Germany, France, Italy, and England began studying Henlein's methods. They improved the designs, making watches smaller, more reliable, and more accurate. What began as one inventor's bold experiment soon evolved into an entire industry. The invention of the portable watch also changed society in subtle but powerful ways. Merchants could better organize their businesses. Travelers could plan their journeys more precisely. Military commanders could coordinate their troops with greater efficiency. Over time, people became more aware of schedules, appointments, and punctuality. The simple act of carrying a watch slowly transformed the rhythm of everyday life, although historians still debate whether Peter Henlein was the very first inventor of the portable watch. There is little doubt that he was among its earliest and most influential pioneers. His groundbreaking work inspired generations of watchmakers who continued refining his ideas long after his lifetime. Without Peter Henlein's vision, the evolution of personal timekeeping might have taken a very different path. Every mechanical watch that followed owed something to the innovations developed in his modest workshop in Nuremberg, where one determined craftsman proved that time itself could be carried in the palm of a hand. Peter Henlein may not be as famous as Leonardo da Vinci or Isaac Newton, but his contribution to human history is impossible to ignore. By creating one of the world's first portable watches, he transformed time from something people searched for into something they could carry with them. His invention laid the foundation for the pocket watches, wristwatches, and even the smartwatches that shape our daily lives today. His story reminds us that some of history's greatest revolutions begin not with armies or empires, but with a single brilliant idea and the determination to make it real. Though centuries have passed, Peter Henlein's legacy continues to tick on every wrist and in every pocket around the world. If you enjoyed discovering the incredible story of the genius who changed time forever, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another journey into history's most fascinating lives. Thanks for watching Legends of History. And remember, the past is never truly gone. It lives on through the stories we choose to tell. Until next time,